Provisional National Road Safety Authority figures show a sharp rise in fatalities, with the Ashanti and Eastern regions worst hit. Ashanti region recorded 163 more deaths, up by 33.5%. Eastern region recorded 146, up from 10.5%. Up by 10.5%, I beg your pardon, and Greater Accra 39, up by 10.2% compared to the same period in 2024. Despite having more than double Eastern crashes, Greater Accra's fatality rate is far lower, 10 deaths per 100 crashes versus Eastern's alarming 28. In December 2025 alone, 1,423 crashes involving 2,406 vehicles left 1,817 casualties, including 276 deaths, with all major indicators rising year on year. Nationally, in the year 2025, it closed with 14,743 crashes involving 24,938 vehicles, and they recorded 19,663 casualties, including 2,949 deaths. Well, let's go straight to our data, which we've already run you through quite a number of some of the key things in that data, if you were following us. But just so that we can give you a pictorial representation of some of the data I've read out to you just now. Road crashes reported in the year 2024 versus 2025. In 2024, you have the 13,489. Now, this is for the month of December based on the data put out today. And for the month December 2025, it rose to 14,743. It went up by some 9.3%. Let's look at the regional representation. Just like I told you, the Greater Accra region recorded some 4,533 road crashes, followed by the Ashanti region, 4,430 road crashes. In the Eastern region, 2,195 road crashes. Central, 1,064, and Western region, 773. Now, let's look at the regions with the most road crashes. Breaking it down, if you do a comparative analysis between December 2024 versus December 2025, the Greater Accra region, 523, followed by the Ashanti region, 373. Eastern, Central, and Western follow closely. When it comes to motorcycle road crashes in December 2024 versus 2025, in 2024, the motorcycle road crashes recorded was 488. That number increased by some 33.25% to 660 in the year 2025. Joining me now via Zoom is Abraham Amaliba. He's Acting Director General of the National Road Safety Authority. Thank you so much for your time here on The Pulse. I'm wondering what factors are driving the recent surge in road crashes based on data you put out earlier today.
I'm not sure the authority has put out any data today. This may be data that found its way into the system, and people are sharing it, but as an authority, we have not officially put out any data.
But can you confirm that this data is accurate?
Yes, I'm aware of this data that has been splashed on your network.
So it's accurate?
But it is clear that, yes, so We can speak to it. We can speak to it.
So let's delve right
on
into
the substantive question. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, please make your point about the substantive question, because that's what I was about to just draw your attention to once again, about what the indicators are driving this.
So, statistics or research shows that anytime the authority embarks on vigorous road safety campaign, the numbers come down. Unfortunately, last year, we were not able to do the campaigns. We were not able to do Easter campaign, New Year campaign, and even the December Christmas. But it was the result of the restructuring of the road fund. And we received 95% of our funding from the road fund. The road fund was undergoing some restructuring. And, you know, there was a bill in Parliament to rechristen it Road Maintenance Fund. This was passed late last year, and we now had the other leg of trying to put together a board for the road fund. Luckily for us, this has been done now. And so this year, we are assured of funding, and I've spoken to the new administrator of the road fund, and he assured us that by next week, we shall receive our funding. But it is also due to indiscipline on the part of drivers, indiscipline on the part of pedestrians, because there are a number of pedestrians who walk on the street and don't pay particular attention to the vehicles. People ride on motorbikes and also buy headphones. All these contribute to road crashes on the road. There's also over of drivers and the lack of enforcement of traffic regulations. These are some of the things that drive the figures as you see them.
And then another concern that we received, especially from pedestrians, is the fact that walking on the streets of Accra is always a daunting task, simply because the pavement have been taken over by shop owners and individuals who sell on the pavement, and so they are forced to compete with drivers on the road. Based on your checks, how do you plan to deal with this other strand of the concern that is driving the surge in road crashes?
That is also true. The drivers themselves have complained. There was a time they nearly went on strike because of that. Because the traders have taken over the pavement, pedestrians have to compete with the drivers for the use of the roads. And so this will normally lead to crashes. The district assemblies are the first point of call when it comes to ensuring that the CDB is cleared of, hawkers, is cleared of traders. I have seen some metropolitan assemblies trying to do that, but they do it in such a way as to make it not sustainable. In other words, they clear the people, the traders, and then just go back, and they also come back onto the road. What I think we should be doing now is to have a meeting, coordinate, and collaborate with the assemblies, between the National Road Safety Authority and the assemblies, to bring permanency to the exercise and to ensure that the pavements are left for the use of pedestrians. So I'm going to take this seriously, and I'll write to the metropolitan assemblies, particularly in the big cities, so that we can have that collaboration.
And I'm just going through the data. We're looking at motorcycle crashes, comparing the data from the year 2024 and 2025. In the year 2024, December, we recorded 488. In the year 2025, December, the number rose to 660. That's worrying, especially now because there are plans to legalize the use of motorcycles. How do you plan to stem the tide, looking at the data that crashes appear to be increasing with motorcycles?
Don't forget that the use of motorcycles for commercial purposes is illegal, as we speak. There's an amendment to the law, but it has not been appended, it has not been signed by the president to become law. So as I speak to you now, using motorbikes for commercial purposes is illegal. Now, because it is illegal, the National Road Safety Authority, even if it has a capacity, if it has funding to provide them with road safety education, cannot do that because you'll be dealing with an illegal entity or an illegal group. And so what is happening at the, what do you call it, the Okada front is not different from what is happening in the vehicular front, the cars and the buses. It is also because of the fact that education has not been given to them, training has not been given to them, and so anybody who can ride a motorbike jumps onto it, and because of the lack of employment, begins to pick people for commercial purposes. Now, when the law is passed and the commercialization of Okada becomes legal, then at that point, it comes with some responsibilities. The Okada driver is supposed to undergo some training before he mounts his motorbike. The Okada driver will be identified with reflector jackets. The Okada driver will be given helmets, and the pillion driver will also be given a helmet, or rider will be given a helmet. Enforcement will be strict. They are going to operate in groups. And so if we are looking for an Okada driver who might have breached some of our road regulations, all we need to do is to look for the person from the association that he belongs to. And so what we are seeing now is not going to be the kind of things that you are seeing where we have rampant accidents or road crashes. When the law is passed, that is the time that responsibility is imposed on the Okada rider to behave well and abide by the road traffic offenses regulations. We, on our part, will now be free. Our hands will be free now to provide them with the road safety education. DVLA will also provide them with riding education. And so, together with the police MTTD, I can tell you we are going to have a new dawn for commercialization of the motorbikes.
And then we're just looking at the data. We're seeing that when it comes to the number of vehicles involved in crashes, we can see that private vehicles constituted the largest portion of vehicles involved in the crashes. Looking at the data, it represented some 41%. Would you be holding any special sensitization program for private vehicle owners to stem the tide?
We shall step up road safety campaigns. And that is how, when we engage in that, the numbers reduce. And I told you that statistics and research shows that anytime the DVA, the National Road Safety Authority undertakes campaign, it leads to the reduction in road crashes. So for the private vehicles, their solution is in the intensification of our campaigns. And once they are in their cars, they are listening, they will change their way of doing things. We also think that we'll have to collaborate with the DVLA to ensure that only persons who are qualified to be behind the steering wheel are given licenses to drive. There are reports that some people drive without license from the DVLA, and I think that's not good enough. That is where I think we shall be dealing with the private car owners. But normally, we intensify our road safety campaigns. It has an effect on them.
There are also concerns about road markings and road signs on our streets, as some of the markings appear to be fading away. Is that of concern to you?
Definitely. As a regulator of the road sector, we are in touch with the urban roads. The urban roads are responsible for road markings. We are like, our road is like the PURC, where the PURC regulates electricity and water supply systems or institutions. We are also like that. So areas that there are no, or the road markings are not visible, we draw the attention of urban roads in the towns. If it is on the highways, we draw the attention of the Ghana Highways Authority. So I've instructed, and this has come to our attention, we are going to issue a compliance notice to urban roads, drawing their attention to fix some of these problems that you are raising.
And when will you be doing that?
I gave the instructions to my director in charge of compliance, and he will do that by issuing the notice, and I'm sure by Monday it will come to my attention.
Thank you so much. Abraham Amaliba is Acting Director General of the National Road Safety Authority. Also joining the conversation is Nanayawa Kwada. He's a public safety advocate. We appreciate your time here on The Pulse. Let's look at our roads. Are we indeed doing enough to ensure safety?
Good morning. Good afternoon to your viewers.
Good afternoon.
I think that is a sad state of affairs. Abraham Amaliba, I respect him a lot. I've known him in public life, and he has my respect. But I think that on this occasion, I'm quite disappointed, Mr. Amaliba, with your responses. When your appointment came, I was one of the people who said we're going to see a dramatic turnaround in our road experience. But I think having been in office for a while now and listening to you today, it appears to me that Mr. Amaliba is settling for, the norm. Look, before I address your questions, Mr. Amaliba did say that research has shown that anytime the National Safety Authority embarked on aggressive campaigns, the statistics indicate that the fatalities, the crashes, the numbers reduce. I don't know what relative terms he may be referring to, but I have been in this space in the last decade plus a few more years, maybe entering 2 decades. I know for a fact that in the last 10 years, back to back, year on year, if you take our road fatalities, they don't increase. year on year, the best performance will be, you know, under 5% increase, under 2%. But the death tolls on our roads are increasing. The number of vehicles involved in road crashes are increasing year on year. Okay. Number one, we know that in every year, at least we lose 2,000 lives on our roads. That fact cannot be disputed. And I'm sure by the time the statistics are validated in Mr. Malibe's office or whoever validates those statistics, we will know that the numbers, you know, are in excess of 2,000. We know the roads that take a lot of these lives. We know the causes of these, you know, road crashes. We know the demographics that is most affected by these road crashes. What we even know in terms of regional distribution, which regions are always on the top. And you showed it right there on your screen. You could refer to the Bureau of Public Safety report since 2017. You would see that same trend as Greater Accra region, Ashanti region, Eastern region, Central, and the same trend. It doesn't change in the last 10 years, okay? And we started publishing our reports since 2017. It got truncated when COVID came. We are now putting things together to continue. And the trend doesn't change. So we know what the problem is. What we don't know is which leadership can take this bull by the horn and drive some results down for the people of Ghana. Okay, that's what we don't know. And I think that what Mr. Maliba came to say, he was just telling us, you know, running through the causes and the problems and nothing concrete. We have come to that stage where we need something concrete to say, let's give ourselves target. You should have asked him, what is his target for this year? What percentage is he seeking to reduce road fatalities? What is he putting in it to ensure that by the end of 2026, okay, our numbers will not exceed 2,000? And I sent to Kaloni, Mas Kaloni, that look, I'm very disappointed. I wanted to have spoken before he spoke. Then I'll throw those questions out there to him. We need to convene the stakeholders, the National Road Safety Authority, the DVLA, the Police MTTD, the insurance companies and civil society organizations. Let these state agencies responsible for improving road experience on our roads have targets, and we hold them to those targets. Otherwise, every time the figures are out like this, we have Abraham come on TV and come and tell us, run us through the same things that we know already. You call MTTD, they're running through the same things that we know already. We've known all of these in the last 10 years. What sort of programs are we putting in place to ensure that the data will be improved, that we will save lives on our roads? Nothing. As I speak to you today, there are vehicles on our roads fitted with sirens, you know, strobe lights, tipper trucks fitted with sirens and strobe lights, trotros, motorbikes. Nothing is going on our roads. And we have our MTTD personnel on our roads, you know, giving handshakes. We're having vehicles, overloaded vehicles, go through all checkpoints, and then they get stuck in the city centers and create unnecessary nuisance for the traveling public. These are the teething problems we need to tackle. Until we tackle all of these things, we are not going to see any improvement. We are not going to see any improvement in the statistics that we are seeing. It's going to be same old story come 2027.
But haven't we had enough dialogue, really? Is dialogue the way forward? I'd like to wrap up with your thoughts on the operations of motorcycles and how we can ensure it is safe moving forward. Now that there's already a push for a new law to legalize it, and that has been passed by Parliament, but we're awaiting the assent of the President.
Look, we know that we have very bad roads in Ghana. There are places that vehicles are unable to access, right? And for those places, motorbikes serve, a very good purpose. So we want to wait. We cannot put a blanket no on legalization of Okada as being dangerous or bad. We want to wait to see how the law is going to be couched, how the regulations is going to be to say, well, maybe you're going to keep Okada operations up to this place. We will not, go beyond this level. We want to wait to see what comes out. But as far as using Okada to convey goods and humans is concerned, I think that the Bureau of Public Safety, we approve it, we endorse it. We only want to see the details as to how this is going to happen, what sort of markings are going to be there, what's going to be the legal framework for that operation. And I think when that is done, that is when we would, want to critique it. When that document is out during the public engagements on these documentations, I'm hoping that the Bureau of Public Safety will be invited to also join in to review some of these things before they become laws or before they become applicable to people.
Hi, Alquada. We appreciate your time here on The Pulse.